Hi, my name is Marina. Today we'll be talking about Clara mass, yellow fever, and human experimentation article. On August 11, 1900 in Cuba, human experimentation was set up to prove that mosquitoes are the main reason for developing yellow fever virus. Now, Dr. M.A.J. Reed was responsible for that experimentation. He began experimenting on humans. Therefore, he asked for multiple people to volunteer for such an experiment, and they will gain $100 when they volunteer and another 100 when they develop symptoms. There were consents for the first time. They made consents in English and in Spanish. However, they did not explain any risk factors. After a couple of days, 8 people did develop yellow fever virus symptoms, and they almost died. Dr. Reed did not care very much about the volunteers. All he wanted to do is record the data to prove that mosquitoes are the main reason for the virus. A couple of months later, Clara Mass heard about this experimentation and heard about the money. She was a young woman at age 25. She was a nurse and she was engaged to be married. She wanted money for herself, for her wedding, and for her family. Therefore she volunteered and she went to Cuba for the experimentation. The doctors and scientists knew about her condition, her weak immunity system. They did not let her sign a consent, and they did not inform her of any risk factors. Therefore, on the 6th time, she got really sick, and she died of the yellow fever virus. Her family thought it was nothing short of a murder and they wanted justice for her. However, they couldn't do so because Dr. Reed wanted to continue his research. He kept on continue on with his experimentation on human. However, he was affected by the death of Clara Mass. Therefore, he made the new volunteers sign a consent and he informed them of the risk factors. However, he did promise them a full recovery and have them gain the proper medical attention. It's completely unethical to do such a thing because it's not guarantee a full recovery, and it's completely unethical to not inform them the first time of the risk factors. Therefore, after three deaths, included Clara Mass, the board of directors, they shut down the experiment, and Dr. Reed was brought in for questioning by the board of directors. And when they asked him why didn't he use animals instead of humans, he stated that animals were not available to him at the time. Therefore, he had to use humans. A few years later, a new law came about, and it was regarding how valid the consent is. A consent cannot be valid until the patient or the volunteer is fully aware of the risk factors. If they're not aware, it's gonna be the consent is completely terminated and it's completely useless, regardless of who signed it, whether they signed it or not. In my opinion, it was completely unethical for the scientists and Dr. Reed to perform any experimentation without informing the volunteers of the risk factor. It was completely unethical as well to not make Clara Mass aware of her condition, as well as to inform the other volunteers that they can make full recovery and guarantee the recovery when he cannot guarantee such recovery. Therefore, we are grateful for this law because it can stop human experimentation and scientific experimentation abuse. Thank you.